It takes a team to win championships. It takes troops, more than just one person, one soldier, to win battles. Now, you may know of Audie Murphy, who jumped on a tank and fired off 50 cal rounds while the tank was burning so that his men could get to the rear. Well, they had to even lay down suppressive fire at one point. It takes more than one person to construct the walls, to build the pyramids. It takes more than one person, even in our Christian walk. God can do anything and everything by himself. He created you. He created me. But he does call upon us to be co-workers. He calls us out of this world to be citizens of heaven. I'm going to read a short passage out of Nehemiah. But let me give you the background to this passage. The children of Israel are beginning to come out of exile, for the Babylonians had invaded Jerusalem, and they tore down the walls, and they took so many people with them: Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and many others. We read the story of Queen Esther and how God used her to save his people. He calls us to be co-workers, to work with him. Now, story of Nehemiah. He asked the king if he could go back to Jerusalem and help to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Now, there were enemies. Israel has had enemies surrounding them since the beginning when they entered the land that was promised to them. And as you look at the news today, they are still fighting. But God is merciful. God is a God of promise. So what does all this have to do with teamwork? Well, a verse that was brought to my attention when I was with Teen Missions International, a verse to encourage us that labor would be fine, that working together we needed to do. For we were an evangelical team, meaning we didn't build the hospitals that some teams were doing. It meant we didn't go on some of the work teams, but we did help in constructing a pole barn made out of wood, trees that were cut down. Not the 4x4s, the wood that is in square, rectangular shape and 10, 15, 20 foot long. We had to carry that wood back to the pole barn, take the bark off, and get it ready to hoist up by hand so that those on the roof could hammer it in. Now then we put the tin on top of that to protect the inside. But it took a team effort to do that. So Nehemiah 4:6 tells us, so we rebuilt the wall until the entire wall was joined together up to the half its height, for the people had a will to keep working. I mean, the walls, if you have seen any archaeology, these walls were made put together with stone, brick, perhaps mortar. And we see that even in Genesis, how they built the bricks. But the point is this: the people had a commitment. They wanted to rebuild the walls in Jerusalem. So they worked together to learn more about this story. and how Nehemiah led his people to rebuild the walls in Jerusalem. I encourage you, read Nehemiah. Pastor Dave and Coach Dave with his Warriors Global always keep the faith.